I, for my part, am a big fan of chip music. Almost my entire YouTube channel is about music from various games or game consoles like the Mega Drive or the Genesis. Yesterday I received a comment by Mr. Sonic609 who asked how I emulated the music of High Seas Havoc. Well, here you go, mister. The one and only program you need is Winamp. You might not be a fan of it or have other preferences, but with the right plugins you can turn this little masterpiece of media player into a Swiss pocket knife of game music emulation. This is my music folder. It grew to a huge size over the years and features a wide range of different file formats. If Winamp got the right plugin, it will accept the file and play it as any other music file. But you should make sure that Windows is not tuning down the volume, which is often the case, especially when you just call someone with Skype. The so-called AdBlock plugin emulates a bunch of various formats for the OPL2 chip. The most famous game supported this great sound chip by Yamaha, found on AdLib or the Sound Blaster cards, and browsing through the files surely brings back some memories. Some of these files are even older than me, dating back to the end of the 80s, like this version of the Chippendale Rescue Rangers theme song. The Commodore 64 was a very, if not even the most, popular home computer in the 80s. The SID plugin is the most uncomfortable of all the plugins. It doesn't support seeking, the spectrum analyzer and the timer don't work, and it just provides a few basic information. Plus, it kills Winamp each time you change the song. But that's better than no emulation at all, I guess, but there are certainly better tools available on the web for playing back SID files. No, there's nothing wrong with your ears here. It sounds as dirty as that. The low quality emulation of the highly advanced plugin is the reason for my low interest in developing a bigger collection. Yet, it can create lovely sounds and the noise just adds some nice feeling as if you are listening to an old record or an worn out analog tape. Let's move on to the good old original Gameboy. This is a pretty straightforward plugin. There's nothing you could set up or change, no options, no information, no anything. The output is very clear and true to the original Game Boy, and switching through the subsongs is provided by using Winamp's next track and previous track buttons. There's really nothing more to say about it. It simply does what you expect it to do. Ah yeah, the good old Sega Master System. We have always been a Sega family. Some of my friends also own Sega consoles, but the vast majority used to have a NES. I, for my part, prefer the sound of the SN74689, which is the cryptic name of the sound chip. The InVGM plugin, that's the actual name, is the best plugin so far and the first one I've downloaded back in 2006. The best thing about it is the high customization of the emulation. This is the plugin customization window. You are able to set up different specs such as the playback rate and basic things. But the most important feature is the channel control. You can turn on and off the sound channels as you wish and change the pan direction. By trying out things, you might discover your favorite music once again, just from a different angle. The Mega Drive or Genesis is my very favorite when it comes to game music. The Yamaha 2612 is a very cool sounding FM sound chip, and with the superior plugin probably the biggest playground for people like me. I still have over 8000 files to check in my archive. The Mega Drive uses both the PSG from the Master System and the Yamaha FM chip, so make sure not to forget about them. With the channel control you can budget the songs as you like, which is pretty cool if you are going to create your own mixes or songs. Sometimes a good song might be too loud. Just go to the config window by double-clicking the name and disable the overdrive option. Games like Road Rash require this, as you have clipping and a very distorted sound. Just an example how the PSG and FM chip work together and create the sounds we are all used to know. A cool thing is to isolate the bass line and fiddle around with the other channels. Now I'm going to show you how I play back MIDIs with an OPL3 Soundfont. Onboard sound cards don't come with a hardware synthesizer, so a software synth is used for playing back MIDIs. There are a few MIDI only players, but VLC can do it too. Just open VLC, click on Tools and open the preferences. Then click Show All Settings, move to Audio Codecs, Fluid Synth and hit Browse. Now navigate and choose your desired sound font. In my case it's the OPL3 sound font. It creates an unexpected real OPL3 sound, especially with certain games, like Battle Eye 2 for example. This is Not So Fatso, the plugin for NES Music. It's massive with channel controls and a shitload of options and sliders and jackboxes, which do things I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. Unfortunately, the playback is controlled with this window you see here, and closing it won't make the music stop, but you can't switch through the songs anymore. It's a very good plugin for Winamp 2 and still perfectly working with Winamp 5 and above. The music archive for the Super Nintendo was a huge torrent file I've downloaded a couple of months ago. It seemed to be the most finished collection, even there are a few games not listed, such as Paperboy 2. The playback itself is self-explaining, with a simplistic menu and no settings you could change. The most annoying part are the cryptic file names, so you have to guess your game's name first, which is not that easy at all. Sequencer, or tracker, became famous when the hardware was capable of playing back 4 waveform audio channels at once. Many game musicians switched from general MIDI to tracked music because it allowed much more creativity. Winamp supports playback of the most famous formats out of the box, but you better use a real tracker for modifying, like the Modplug tracker. This is an old-fashioned 4-channel mod file, but there are up to 32 channels, like this beast you just hear right now. And last but not least, the DRO format. DRO comes with DOSBox, the DOS emulator. If you hit Ctrl, Alt and F7, DOSBox will capture the OPL signals and store them into a file. If you are done, hit the same combination again or close DOSBox. To get to the location where the captions are stored, click on the corresponding batch file in the DOSBox main directory. Another window will open with your files. The AdBlock plugin we know from the beginning of this clip takes over to play back the DRO files. Many of the videos I've uploaded so far were created using the raw OPL capture and has been exported by Winamp. I hope you liked my video. If you watched that monster of 17 minutes at all, feel free to ask questions or leave comments. So far, cheers!